What intrigues you about Canelo versus Jaime Munguia? It's going to be on Amazon Prime. Just run right off the other. You guys have one on the 30th. Now you guys have that one. Just what excites you about this one?
I mean, look, it's a classic matchup. You've got a guy with a lot more experience, versus a younger, arguably fresher, more active young guy. And the question is it too soon for the young guy or too late for the older guy? Canelo's been at top of the game for a long time. I mean, it was brought up during the press conference, but the year that Munguia made his pro debut, and just separated by a couple months later, was when Canelo was fighting Floyd Mayweather. So that tells you a difference. The one guy literally came into the sport idolizing the other, and Canelo has been on the world title stage as long as Munguia has been a professional. Now, having said that, none of that matters, because at the end of this it's a physical contest and a mental contest. And the physical, Munguia has a lot of strengths. His activity level, his conditioning, his power. Look, it's tough to pick against Canelo in any fight, but there's a lot of things that I think that Munguia brings to the table that can give Canelo problems.
In less than 2 weeks, you guys have a big one coming up. It's your first one on Amazon Prime. It is Tim Tszyu. Now Sebastian Fundora jumps in there. Yep. Just what did you think about that, and why is Sebastian the perfect opponent for Tim?
It's funny. I was talking to Tim, when we started the promotion, and Fundora was always in the plan at some point later in the year. It sometimes happens, sooner rather than later. So I think, look, I never believed that the odds were really right in terms of the Thurman fight. Like, to me, you can't take someone with the skill level and the resume that Thurman has and make him an 8-1 underdog or 7-1 or 6-1. So I haven't checked the odds here, but I'm betting that Fundora is a much closer fight, a different type of challenge, and a big challenge for Tszyu with a real shift in strategy 12 days before the fight. But I think one of the interesting things about this whole thing is now, even with the change, there's 4 world title fights on the card. So this is quality top to bottom. Tszyu Fundora will be a world title fight. We're waiting to find out. It might be 2 world titles. So you've got, Isak, you got Pitbull and Rolly. That's for a world title. You got Lara, that's for a world title. Julio Cesar Martinez has been moved up. That's for a world title. So you got 4 world titles on the pay-per-view. On the Amazon portion, the non-pay-per-view, you've got Elijah Garcia in probably his toughest fight of his career. You've got Brian Mendoza, in a really entertaining fight. So right there, you can go 6 fights deep, and you're talking about, a young prospect, Elijah Garcia. Everyone else has been on the world championship level. So not only is it sort of an intriguing fight, but I think the depth of this card is not just strong, but stronger than most cards that we see nowadays.
It seems like you guys are starting off kind of with a bang with your first 2 fights. Are you excited about the future with Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I mean, people, I know, like I see the chatter. Everyone wants to say, it's this, it's that. It takes time. You don't go from not being in the sport to 100 miles an hour overnight. So yes, it is a slow rollout, and I think now that things are getting started, you've seen the Amazon page there, you see the collection, you see the archive fights, you see the shoulder programming. Now it'll start snowballing. So now you start to see more and more fights, both pay-per-view and non-pay-per-view, and then I think we'll get to the pace that we're used to seeing in short order.
There's a piñata outside. Will you be hitting the piñata?
Well, it depends what's inside. It's inside. If it's worthwhile, I'm going to take a couple whacks.
And I see you got some Jordans on, some nice Jordans. Are you a sneakerhead?
I am. I'm pretty picky. Though, but yes, I am a sneakerhead, definitely.
Jordans, or do you get other Kobe's or LeBron's?
I'm not. I'm a Jordan guy. See, because I'm old enough, and I'm going to date myself here. I'm old enough to have had the re-releases in the originals. I had the Jordan 1s, I had the Jordan 4s, I had the 13s, I had the 5s. I had them originally, and I have a couple pairs that were literally originals, still originals. So yeah, I'm a Jordan guy, and I'm a fashion sneaker guy.
Well, lucky for you, we did this. We're journalists because we don't know how to do math, so you won't outdate yourself very much. But real quick, last question for me. Amazon Prime, in a couple of days, your best friend has a movie coming out, Roadhouse, Conor McGregor. Are you going to be watching that?
Now that we've reconciled, and we kissed and made up, sure, why not? I'm not sure I need to see him naked in the opening scene of the movie. Maybe I'll get some popcorn. I'll come in about 5 minutes in.
Well, I mean, if you look on his Instagram, he basically is.
No. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So maybe I'll just turn my head for a little bit.
Friend of the show, Steven Espinoza, thank you so much for again jumping on with us as you do basically every single year. We appreciate it.
Good to see you guys again.